read as it makes its way over the internet to its final decision. So that could be a limitation with email. There is no guarantee of email privacy. A message can be intercepted and read as it makes its way over the internet. Look here. Hello. So see here, the message is hello.
Hello madam. Namaste madam.
Sir, cheppandi.
Madam, Shubharam Government Degree College, Murur madam.
Sir, cheppandi.
I have a doubt madam. How much volume of information we can send by email?
No, it depends on the mail server in use, sir. It depends on the mail server. Like you have Yahoo, you have Rediff, and each mail server will be giving a certain amount of information to you. It is restricted to the mail server in use. Okay, here the data is transferred here from one mail server. Now we are seeking about the privacy of email here. So the data is transferred from one message, one person to the other person. What happens here is, in between, the other person also can visualize. So an intruder can view your message. So that could be a limitation with email. The safest way to send sensitive or confidential information via email is by using encryption software. So if you want your email to be private, if you want your email to be secure, so what do you do is you go in for encryption procedures. So what do they do is you encrypt the encryption software. What does it do is it doesn't send the message as it is. Your data will be encrypted, will be changed to a different format, and that will be sent, but the receiver also should be in a position to decrypt it. Decrypt chestene ataniki original message ostundannamata. So security can be assured in emails through encryption software. Now let us see the anatomy of an email message. So the software program you use to send, receive and manage electronic messages is called an email client. So the software which does all this is termed as a email client. Here we have different portions. Here we have two, which contains the email address of the recipient. This is a mandatory entry. Definitely you have to write this, lakshman@yahoo.com. So the name of the recipient is written over here. CC contains, this is a short form of carbon copy. It contains the email addresses for people other than the primary recipients, and this is optional. Say if you want the same message to be sent to more than one person, what do we do is you type the messages in CC. CC దగ్గర type చేస్తాం. ఇక్కడ నేను మెసేజ్ ని లక్ష్మణ్ తో పాటు ఇంకెవరికి పాస్ చేద్దాం అనుకుంటున్నా, I want to pass it to Kumar and also to Shanti. So kumar@rediff.com, shanti@gmail.com అని రెండు మెసేజెస్, రెండు ఈమెయిల్ అడ్రసెస్ ఇచ్చాను. ఈ రెండింటిని ఎక్కడ టైప్ చేస్తాం? We will type it in CC, and there is no limitation on the number of messages that can be passed through CC. మీరు ఎన్ని recipients అన్ని ఇక్కడ ఇచ్చుకోవచ్చు అన్నమాట. To all the recipients the data will be transferred. So short form for carbon copy. Next, short for blind carbon copy. It contains the email addresses of other recipients who receive copies, but their names and addresses are hidden from the other recipients, and this is optional. Say you are sending a message to Lakshman, Kumar and Shanti, and Lakshman doesn't want to know that Kumar and Shanti are also receiving, or you don't want Lakshman to be known that Kumar and Shanti are receiving the messages. So what do we do is we type the messages in, we type the addresses in BCC. So BCC lo type చేస్తే ఏమవుతుంది అంటే కనుక కుమార్ కి మనం మెసేజ్ పంపించినట్టు, శాంతికి మెసేజ్ పంపించినట్టు, లక్ష్మణ్ కి మెసేజ్ పంపించినట్టు తెలియదు. కుమార్ కి పంపిస్తే ఓన్లీ కుమార్ విల్ బి విజువలైజింగ్, శాంతికి పంపిస్తే శాంతియే తెలుస్తుంది. కానీ CCలో అలా కాదు. మీరు అడ్రస్ పంపిస్తే, ఒక రిసిపియంట్ కి పంపిస్తే బిలో ద మెసేజ్ ఆల్ ద అదర్ హూ వర్ రిసీవింగ్ ద మెసేజ్ అడ్రసెస్ ఆల్సో విల్ బి రిటర్న్. సో దట్ ఈస్ ద డిఫరెన్స్ బిట్వీన్ CC and BCC. Next, you will have the subject line. It contains the main topics of the message, and keep this brief. You will be having a subject line over there, and it contains the main topic of the message. Keep this brief. Recipients see this in their summary of incoming messages. See here, subject is floor plan. So I want to send a floor plan to some other person. So the subject is floor plan, and it should be brief. And by looking at the subject line, the recipient should know the purpose of the email. And the next one is attachments. Attachments contains the names of files that you want to be sending. So along with your file you can send, I told you earlier, a photo could be sent, a video file could be sent, and you can send a processing, a word processing document also has attachment. Now the body contains the message itself, which could be of any length. So you have two sections, you have CC, you have BCC, you have subject section, and finally you have the body section wherein you type the message which you want to send to the recipient. Now look at this here, I have brought you an anatomy of this. Here 2 is the place wherein you type the message, CC if more than one person, BCC subject line, and here is the place where you type the message. And if any attachments have to be added, add attachment is there, here you can click it. Signature is used, I will be telling now what is a signature, and if you want your message to be saved, it can be saved. If you want to send the message, you can click here. So send is there, save is there. If you want to add attachments, you can click over here. If signatures have to be added, you have to click here. Contacts, if you want to save the addresses of all these in your address book, you click here and enter the address. So just as you maintain your telephone directory, telephone book of your house, so similarly in contacts also. So this is how, and look at a diagram over here, a message is being sent here to a person Lakshman, and see the here subject, and an attachment is being here, and particularly why I have good morning everybody is the message, and see here emotions also can be added to messages, an emotion is being added here, and the messages also transfers emotions. And the next one is company email systems use the same basic methods as internet email with some differences. Companies maintain internal mail servers. So even the companies also, they will be using internet facility, but they don't want the others to hack their information. So what they do is they maintain internal mail servers. So what is an internal mail server is your company's internal email system. It may not be connected to the internet, in which case you are only able to send and receive email within the company. So you have a server within your company, wherein now within the company the data will be transferred. The data can be emailed to any other person within the organization, and it is connected. Your company's internet email system, it may not be connected to the outside internet, but that can be made possible with firewalls. It can be connected to the internet, but with firewalls the data can be restricted. See here, internet mail server, and this is the internal mail server. So this is the internal mail server which exists in the organization, and the data is transferred between the persons in the company over here. And if your company want to be connected to the external internet, you can be connected to the external internet mail server also. Now to prevent outside people from accessing internal data, companies use firewalls to separate outside internet traffic from internal traffic. So in order to keep your data secure, what do the companies do is they use firewalls. The firewalls are a piece of software which helps the outside world to access your data. They restrict the outside people to access your data. Now coming to the concept of mailing list. Now mailing list, what is this? Is an information is there, a memo or something has to be, a manager is there wherein he wants to invite all the persons in the organization for a meeting. So he cannot keep on typing the messages every time, typing the addresses of, say organization contains 100 employees, 100 employees he cannot keep on typing the messages. So what does he do is once for all he will enter all of them into mailing list. So if a message is sent to the mailing list, all the persons in the mailing list will be receiving the message. So that is the advantage of mailing list. You can do this with email also without the option of mailing list, but wherein you have to type all the addresses many times. ఇప్పుడు ఒకసారి పంపించారు అనుకోండి, ఈ రోజు ఒక మెసేజ్ మేనేజర్ ఒక ఇన్విటేషన్ ని 100 ఎంప్లాయీస్ పంపించాలంటే he has to type the addresses of all the 100 employees. Say after 1 week he has to send another message to all the 100 employees, he has to type again the addresses of all the 100 employees. So instead what is done is we implement the concept of mailing list. So mailing list లో ఏమవుతుందంటే all the addresses will be included in the mailing list. If a message is sent to the mailing list, all the recipients, ఇప్పుడు 100 employees కి every time మనం addresses type చేయకుండా immediately the message will be transferred to the persons. So the message that it will be sent by the manager and will be received by all the other persons. So the messenger, he is the sender, say for instance. So here mailing list can be with moderator and without moderator. What does the moderator do is, after the message is before the message is transferred to all the persons in the mailing list, what does the moderator do is, he checks the feasibility of the message, and depending on that, the list of recipients will be selected by the moderator, and it will be forwarded to all the other employees. Now, finding email addresses. Now, if you want to know the telephone number of a person, what do? We immediately open a telephone book and check for his number, depending on the state, depending on the district, depending on the town likewise. But what is the plight of email addresses? Because you have numerous mail servers, it's very difficult to have all the email addresses at one location. But Yahoo have tried one search site, and that is 411.com, wherein here it contains the addresses, almost all the email addresses. Even if you could open the site and see, even my email address, your email address also can be a part of 411.com. So, finding email addresses, and the directory for that or the site is 411.com. And coming to the signatures, I have told you that signatures can be included in your email message. So, email can include a signature at the end of the message. It's not a handwritten signature, but text that provides useful information about you. So, generally what do when we write a letter? Towards the end of the letter, we have the habit of signing, we do our signature. But what happens to an email? Email also has signature. It's not a handwritten signature what you do, but it contains the information about you. So, every time if any message is, once the signature is added in your email, if the message is sent to any other person, immediately automatically the signature will be appended to the text. So, that is the advantage of signature. And the signature contains your name. It should, it depends on you. You can have your name, the title, your position in the organization, your phone number, fax numbers, your street addresses, and also your website address. So, all these are the primary contents of a signature. It depends on the intuition of the sender. It depends on the sender to include the fields in the signature. So, generally you will have your name, title, phone, fax number, street address, and website addresses. Now, using the signature feature, it saves time, since you don't have to retype the information every time you send a message. It's automatically added to the message. So, signature use cheyadam valla em avutundi, it saves time. Endukante pratisari meer message rasinappudu kinda peru address adantha raayakkarledu, signature click cheste immediately that will be automatically added to the message. So, that is the advantage of a signature. In the future, the signature may contain passcodes, PASSCODES, that verify the sender of the message, authenticating an email the way a handwritten signature authenticates a paper document. So, paper document lo మనం sign చేసినప్పుడు ఎలా authentication check చేస్తారో అలాగే in future this feature may be added into the emails also, which are passcodes. ఈ passcodes ఏంటంటే they verify the sender of the message. Before the receiver receives the message, he can verify whether the sender is a relevant sender or not by looking at the passcodes, and this is still a feature under invention. Okay. Now, embedding a web link in an email message. So, one more or the final feature which can be included in an email message is embedding a web link in a message. So, some email programs let you put a link to a web page in the message, making it easy for the recipient to access web resources. So, within your email message also you can have the name of a website, and by clicking the website the site will be open. So, to create a hyperlink, you type the URL, the complete address of a web page such as this. So, http www.learnthenet.com. So, if this is clicked, this can be added in your email message, and if the recipient sees the email message, he can just click the URL and immediately the site will be open, provided he has the internet connection over there. So, the URL may appear like regular text on your outgoing message, but the recipient sees the hyperlink in a special font, color, or it could be underlined. So, recipient ki ela telustundi adi URL anante message మనం టైప్ చేసినప్పుడు మామూలుగానే కనబడుతుంది, recipient లో ఏంటంటే it will be shown in a special font, color, or underline. I have brought you this. See here, this is the message being received by the recipient. It has a different color here. See here. http://www.learnthenet.com. So this is about you can go in for attachments within an email. And to read the email messages, so when you open your email program, it lists the messages in your inbox, and from here you can read, reply to, and also manage your email, and all these are stored in a folder. All the received